Hello everyone, here we go again to discuss to you the Module 5, which is the theories and principles in the use and design of technology-driven lessons. And we have the lesson 1, the Edgar Dale's Cone of Experience. I am Vairia Malanon.
And I am Michelle Grande. And we are the Group 1.
So what is Dale's Cone of Experience? In the modern era wherein technology advances in time, ICT is providing with new ways to access and process knowledge across all disciplines. The use of technology in education is highlighted in theories and principles of technology-driven lessons, which covers the instructional strategies, institutional norms, and governmental guidelines that result in a successful, long-lasting education. So meaning to say, education needs to be modernized so that students can learn more, and this is where the use of technology such as TVs, laptops, or even cell phones or tablets comes in so that the young people can better understand the lessons. And in addition to the modern generation was born where it is no longer like before that the games are purely physical and even life is purely not aligned with the gadget.
So again, what is Dale's Cone Experience? It is first introduced in Dale's 1946 book, Audiovisual Methods and Teaching. It designs to show the progression of learning experiences from the concrete to the abstract. According to Dale, the arrangement of the cone is not based on its difficulty but rather based on abstraction. It also helps the teachers to plan different kinds of learning experiences in order to create the most effective learning environment for the purpose of studying geographical content. The Dale's Cone of Experience mainly focuses on experiences while also exhibiting such basic learning skills like reading, speaking, hearing, and observing. Typically, it focuses on how the children do something as they learn more from it. So Dale's Cone of Experience was created to further expand the teaching method and adapt it to the needs of the students. It is designed to show the growth of learning in the lessons. It focuses on the experience of students because it is where they learn better while ignoring traditional teaching. In addition to that, teachers are better provided with plans that can be used in their teaching. For example, on Monday, the teacher will use a slideshow to show the content of the lesson. However, he will also use traditional teachings such as reading them to the students and testing the student. He will let them experience what he's been taught through small activities.
The followings are the 8 M's of teaching. First is milieu, the learning environment. So this is important because an engaged learning environment increases students' attention and focus, promotes meaningful learning experiences, encourages higher levels of student performance, and will motivate students to practice higher-level critical thinking skills. The second one is matter, the content of learning. Content is important for students to achieve student learning goals such as problem solving and communication skills. Teachers must first understand the importance of content learning and then how technology can help and support it as students work toward learning goals. And number 3 is method, the teaching and learning activities. So these are the teaching and learning activities, and this is important to align the outcomes and assessment, engage students in active learning, facilitate practice of key skills prior to assessment, and provide feedback on student progress towards outcomes. And number 4 is material, the resources of learning. These are tools that are necessary for learning. Learning resources are important for both teachers and students. It is part of the teaching-learning approach and provides teachers with valuable information on various subjects. This keeps them updated with relevant information and helps in their professional development. Study materials give students the opportunity to practice what they have been taught in class. And number 5, the communication system or the media. So communication skills are essential to being an effective teacher And communication not only provides information, but it encourages effort, changes attitudes, and stimulates thinking. Without it, stereotypes develop, messages become distorted, and learning is stifled. Number 6, motivation, the arousing and sustaining internet in learning. It is the stimulation and maintenance of the internet in learning. Motivation drives students to reach learning goals. It is important to maintain and stimulate the students' attention and curiosity in the learning process. Number 7, mastery, the internalization of learning. Internalization is the process of learning something so that it can be used as a basis of production. Once language is internalized, it can be retained and retrieved when needed for communication. Internalization refers to learning, communicating, sharing, accepting, and digesting new knowledge by students. And the last is measurement, the evidence that learning took more. Evidence of learning is a data-backed method to ensure that students are meeting educational standards. Effective teachers use high-quality evidence to establish the points that individual students have reached in their learning. And this allows teachers to identify starting points for further teaching and learning and to ensure that each student is provided with learning opportunities at an appropriate level of challenge. So here is the diagram that shows the basic principle of cone of experience, how people generally remember, and how will they able to retain the lesson.
So in text or verbal symbols, when a learner moves from direct and purposeful experiences to verbal symbols, the degree of abstraction gradually grows. And as a result, learners become spectators rather than participants. Learner can see, handle, taste, feel, and smell the most purposeful experiences.
So here, students are not given full learning because they can only use basic learning skills. For example, traditional teaching where only the students listen to the teacher while he is in class. The second one is visual symbols, graphic substitutes for literal reality, representations of direct reality which comes in the form of signs and symbols, which are drawings, diagrams, charts, graphs, maps, and posters. So here, students see what the teacher is teaching. These are usually graphs or drawings. For example, the teacher uses visual aids while the students listen and see.
So number 3, still pictures, radio recordings, a feast for the eyes of ears. It represents media that we can experience in no fixed order of photographs and audio recordings.
So here, students learn through teachers' use of pictures, recordings, and radio. For example, the teacher was teaching about World War II and he used pictures of the said war and showed it to the students.
Next is the motion pictures, a moving feast for the eyes and ears.
Through motion pictures, this is where the interest of young people is aroused, especially when they see something moving. For example, teachers use software such as Photon where their lessons were brought to life so that the teaching technique used became a video slideshow instead of a traditional PowerPoint presentation. So number 5 is exhibits, meaningful displays with limited handling. Exhibits are specifically designed for interactivity. Others restrict learners to look but don't touch. So this is where experience comes in. Here, the students will experience being able to go to the different places while limiting the handling of the displayed objects. Besides that, students do see things in person. For example, the school had a small exhibit room where local foods and utensils were featured. This became a way of learning because they have an appropriate history, and it is also the teacher's way to make the students learn more. Number 6 is field trips, sights and sounds of real-world settings. This level extends the learning experience through excursions and visits on the different places that are not available inside the classroom. Through this level, The learning experience will not be limited to the classroom setting, but rather extended in a more complex environment. So here, it seems the students have a study or field trip to expand the learning experience, where the field trip is an educational method where the students get first information through observing places, objects, and processes in their natural environment. And number 7 is demonstrations. This is how it works or how you do it. It is a visualized explanation of important fact, idea, or process through the use of pictures, drawings, film, and other types of media in order to facilitate clear and effective learning. In this level, things are shown based on how they are done. Supposedly, for example, right now, we are currently experiencing great hardships due to the coronavirus or COVID-19, where many people have experienced and have been affected by this disease. If so, in order to prevent us from landing or getting infected with this disease, there are reminders or tips to avoid them through our gadgets. We can watch, listen, and read advertisements where they demonstrate how this is done, just like tips on how to do proper hand washing. Number 8 is dramatized experience or role play exercises. These are commonly used as activities that allow students to actively participate in a reconstructed experience through role playing or dramatization. In this way, students are encouraged to express their creativity, boost their self-confidence, and improve their acting skills and abilities. Like for example, when the teacher does a role play, of course, the part of the students there, or what is called the role in a scene, they need to be able to properly execute the facial expression so that the outcome of the drama is good, neat, and interesting. Of course, that's where you'll get the audience attention right away. And number 9 is contrived experiences. Are substitute of real things when it is not feasible to bring the real thing to the class. These should models, mock-ups, specimens, objects, simulations, and games. And last is direct purposeful experiences or hands-on practice. This refers to foundation of experiencing learning. Using the sense, meaning, knowledge, and understanding are established. This is experiential learning where one learns by doing. So in the diagram B above shows how people generally remember. So 10% of what they read, 20% of what they hear, 30% of what they see, 50% of what they see and hear, 70% of what they say and write, and 90% of what they do as they perform a task. So in read and hear, people are able to define, describe, list, and explain. While in view images, watch videos, exhibits, and demonstrations, people are able to demonstrate, apply, and practice. And in workshops, collaborative lessons, experience lesson, and perform a presentation, people are able to analyze, define, create, and evaluate. The most effective learning is through hands-on, where students are able to experience firsthand. This retains more on their learning process, whereas the least effective is through verbal learning method, where students are only able to acquire knowledge through listening and observing. The cone reflects the average rate of retention for various teaching techniques. The deeper down the cone being able to use as method of teaching, the more students learn and the more likely it'll retain information. It is also indicating that while selecting an instructional technique, integrating students in the process enhances knowledge retention. And through Edgar Dale's cone of experiences, teachers are helped to balance the task to be given to students, also the educational technology to be used the task. So it ends here, and hoping that you've learned from our video presentation, and thank you for watching and listening. Once again, I am Byria Malanon.
I am Michelle Angrande.
And we are signing off.